Namaste, TikTok, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This chubby lady go rolling home down the TikTokity streets. Hi, it's Katrina. I look like a zebra, right? Zebras are my favorite. I'm out and about, went to Starbucks, spent a crazy amount of money on I don't even know what. This is a grande. This is not that big. They didn't even put my name on it, and they have this new thing where they hand you the thing, and I was using my card and I didn't want to give a tip, but it tells you a choice of $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. So I felt like under pressure because the guy was staring at me, so I just pushed 1. Now I'm already spending $25 at Starbucks for some reason. I don't know why. Anyhow, I just want to touch base with something I heard about and something I've been thinking about. Gypsy's mother, Dee Claudine Pitres Blanchard, and then Claudine Pitres. I don't know why she didn't switch back to Pitres. I know she added an E and made it Blanchard. I could look into that too. There's a reason for that too. Like a rejection of her family and a rejection of still wanting to probably match with Gypsy. I mean, I know my mother, when she got divorced from my father, she had 3, we had the 6 kids, there was 6 kids in the family. So 3 of us was still in school. Sorry, throat chakra stuff. 3 of us was still in school, and she wanted to match her name with us. So she stayed at Brady for us. So that we wouldn't be embarrassed, because it was the 70s and really wasn't accepted. Divorce, like you would stand out if you were divorced, right? Anyhow, what I was thinking about is the pain, the amount of pain Dee had to be in, because I have had kidney stones. I have had the pain of kidney stones. I have given birth to 2 kids. I have had endometritis. I've had a couple operations for my endometritis. I've had my fallopian tubes cut. I've had my uterus burnt out, like a DNC, because supposedly that would help it. The first time it did not help it. The second time it helped it, but it took months before it like kind of kicked in. Anyhow, and my husband has diabetes. He's diabetic, and he has had kidney stone, he has kidney disease, actually. So I know what that is, like rushing to the hospital, the amount of pain you're in, and then getting a stent put in and having an operation and trying to make the kidney stone smaller. And if you're diabetic, your sugar goes up and down, and they have to give you insulin. And I'm pretty sure Dee was on insulin. I think insulin every day. But the day that she was murdered by her lovely daughter, she didn't have any food in her stomach. She didn't have any medication that she was supposed to take. She didn't even have, I don't believe she had the insulin in her system either. So did Gypsy keep away her medication and keep her from eating the last couple of days of her life? Because why was her stomach empty? And she didn't have any painkillers in her body. So best believe she felt every one of the 17 jabs. The 13 and the 4. The 13 and the 4. Okay. What's my point? My point is I was thinking about kidney disease and what it entails, because I go through it with my husband, and how much care he needs because of kidney disease, diabetes, heart disease. And Dee was much younger, you know. My husband's 65, but when he was in his 50s, that's when he started to, his mid 50s, that's when he had his first heart problem, but he was diabetic before that. But he had kidney stones back when we lived in New York as well, and kidney problems. And I had a couple of kidney things going too, especially when we moved to Texas, because I didn't know that I'm supposed to be drinking a lot more water because it's so hot. It's like 100 and something, and I was going to the gym back then, walking in the neighborhood for like an hour. Back in the day, I was good with my walks. I have to get back to that, but you have to hydrate yourself. Anyhow, my point is, I was really, because I'm an empath and a psychic, I was being empathetic, feeling the pain of Dee and how scared she must have been with her life just really in Gypsy's hands, and Gypsy was supposedly in a wheelchair, right? Who knows if Dee ever saw her out of that wheelchair? But she didn't have anybody else taking care of her. She didn't have like a friend, you know, that we know of. Nobody came into the house to take care of Dee, especially when it got really bad. The last surgery that she had, I believe, was 2014, and then again in 2015. I think it was January 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Anyhow, I'm just feeling very empathetic and sad for Dee that she couldn't depend on her family members, or Rod, or, you know, Christy, or I guess neighborhood people. She did have a friend in the neighborhood that was very upset, that could have maybe helped her. But when you're a hoarder and you're just like living in a grift type of way, she didn't want anybody to know what was going on inside the house. She was embarrassed, or she's very private. And so all of her lifeline would be Gypsy. And isn't it ironic that Gypsy took her life away? And what I'm thinking about is, what I'm tapping into, I believe, is that she was suffering for days and weeks before her death. And I do believe they had a fight, and they were having arguments, because Dee required more and more care. And she gave that care to Gypsy with her microdeletion and all her issues that she had growing up. And maybe she was overprotective because she knew that Gypsy wasn't going to get along with the people on the outside in the real world. Because she saw incidents. Nobody knows you like your own mother, right? So I have a feeling that Dee, aside from maybe being bipolar or having her own issues, was trying to protect the world from Gypsy. And that's why she was trying to keep her in. But then finally she said, get out. Get out. You're not going to help me anyway. You're not going to try to, you know, help me with all these things I have. It's easier for Dee to live without Gypsy, because Gypsy was causing her stress and angst with the men that she was running, with the schemes that she was running. I feel bad for Dee. I really do. Namaste. Rest in peace, Dee.